Hi, I'm Dr. Lance Morris, and welcome to my weekly YouTube posting. Last week, we left off with a question to reflect on. What is beyond or outside of STEM? Space, time, energy, and matter. I had actually given more than a hint in last week's closing remarks. The more we reflect on this question, the more we use our brain and all its intellectual capacity to solve this conundrum, the more we will catch ourselves, maybe about to say something, then pause, scratch our head, start to say something again, ultimately to be left completely empty with nothing. Eureka! That's it. Nothing. No, not nothing, but no thing. Is there a difference? Yes, in a subtle yet profound way. Nothing is just nothing, but no thing is a mindful awareness of no things or objects having any tangible qualities or properties. This is where modern science breaks down. Currently, science as we use it requires the use of tangible machines that offer data about tangible objects. Even the full electromagnetic spectrum becomes tangible with modern scientific equipment. With the electromagnetic spectrum, we have short wavelengths and high frequencies, starting with gamma rays, X-rays, and ultraviolet. The visible, which is that portion perceivable with our eyes, represents only 0.0035% of the full spectrum and is virtually in the middle. At the other end, we have long wavelengths and lower frequencies, starting with radio waves, then microwaves, and infrared. The fundamental requirement in the scientific method is to use objective observation and objective methods, techniques, and tools to validate, prove, or disprove a hypothesis. Let's engage in an exercise of imagination together. Imagine that the known, identifiable, full electromagnetic spectrum represents only the same percentage of the real, actual, and whole spectrum that the visible portion represents relative to the known full electromagnetic spectrum at 0.0035%. If this seems confusing, just relax. Take a breath. Reflect. Consider the possibility that the spectrum or frequency of existence, reality, extends well beyond the known electromagnetic spectrum. This would suggest that the very best of our known scientific ability or capacity to describe and define existence or reality is very limited. Imagine that reality and existence is like an iceberg, and we are only able to identify the portion above the water if we limit ourselves to our 5 physical senses, coupled with our augmented toolbox derived from science as we currently use it. Let me suggest again that existence and reality have a bandwidth well beyond the boundaries of the known universe, extending beyond the boundaries of STEM, space-time, energy, and matter. Given these parameters, we ask the question again, is there any way to utilize the scientific method to verify this? The answer in this case is no. The reason that it is no is because information or data coming from beyond or outside STEM requires direct, personal, subjective experience as the medium for understanding and awareness. By definition, this level of subjective experience is transcendent or numinous, as differentiated from seeming normal subjective experience. Regardless, any subjective experience flies in the face of the scientific method. As soon as we become a subjective, participating part of the experiment, we have stepped out of the role as the objective observer. This is taboo and the line that cannot be crossed if we want any credibility in the scientific community. Either you are the objective observer or you are the subjective participant. You cannot be both. As I was developing the bioenergetic healing modality I use, clinically called RST, an acronym for Resonant Sound Therapy, hence my YouTube channel, RST Doctor, and writing my book, The Edge and Beyond, I realized that we need to consider an expanded application of the scientific method that integrates both objective and subjective data sources. The common thread needs to be independent reproducibility, even when the data source is subjective. Can we be taught or learn consistently reproducible methods to validate that data and find the common threads that link us all? More and more of us are rediscovering and sharing the tools and techniques to accomplish and teach this. To mention just a few of my mentors and colleagues: Lynn Andrews, Greg Braden, Carlos Castaneda, Deepak Chopra, Ram Dass, Michael Katz, Elizabeth Keys, Bruce Lipton, Terence McKenna, Michael Newton, Don McGill Ruiz, Gary Schwartz, William Tiller, and Alan Watts. Of course, you can do a Google search and look at any of these individuals and look at their writings and teachings, which are illuminating and delightful, and I encourage. At this point, I encourage you to stay with me. If something seems confusing, don't worry. Much of what I have to share and teach will never be understood using the mind as the primary tool for awareness. Topics that I bring up will be revisited to add clarity. Hope to see you next week. I want to remind everyone that this new series is sequential and has more cohesion if viewed that way. Today is number 8. Please subscribe, like, and share if you are enjoying this content. Thank you.